People absurdly believe that a mysterious, magical soul, created by God, enters them at conception or birth and then departs from them at death, and, using celestial GPS, makes its way to the gates of heaven to be judged by Saint Peter. So, where is your soul? Point to it. If it's immaterial, how can it exist in your material body? How come science cannot detect anything leaving the body at death? Why can science not find the soul using atom colliders, and so on? Why is the soul so elusive? The soul is not physical and is not in the physical universe, hence is not in the physical body. So where is it, then? Doesn't it exist? The soul certainly exists, but it's not a physical entity in the physical universe. It's a mathematical entity in a mathematical singularity. It's immaterial, non-physical, and non-local. Well, if that's the case, what does it have to do with the body? What's the point of it? Here's the dope. The soul is the least understood thing ever. Every well-known idea about the soul is false. You can't even begin to contemplate what the soul is unless you grasp how the soul relates to the body, and it has absolutely nothing to do with anything physical or anything magical and mystical. The model you should have in your mind when you imagine the relationship of soul to body is that of a drone pilot controlling something physical, the drone, that is very far away. The drone pilot is not in the drone. The drone pilot remotely controls the drone. If the drone perishes, the drone pilot does not. If the drone crashes, the communications link between the pilot and drone ends, but there is no end to the pilot. He is exactly where he was before. With a drone and a drone pilot, both are in the physical world. With a drone body and a soul pilot, things are different. The drone body is in the physical world while the soul pilot is not. The soul pilot is in a mathematical singularity, along with every other soul pilot. The soul pilot is in the 0th dimension. When the soul pilot controls a physical body, he is doing so not from another physical location, but from another dimension, so to speak. Actually, the soul is in the non-local dimension, the singularity, while the material universe is the local physical domain of dimensionality. This scheme was implied by Descartes back in the 17th century, when he spoke of unextended thinking substance, mind, and extended non-thinking substance, matter. Descartes said that the mind linked to the body via the pineal gland in the brain. In fact, the soul connects to the body via every cell, but especially links to the body via the control center in the brain and central nervous system. The mathematical communication system of the non-local soul with the local body is conducted by way of ontological Fourier mathematics, by which the non-local frequency domain of mind and the spacetime domain of matter relay messages, mathematical functions conveying all necessary information, to each other via forward and inverse Fourier transforms. If you don't grasp the mathematics of reality, ontological mathematics, then you won't understand anything of how reality operates and how the soul controls the body while not being in the body, and not dying when the body dies. It's impossible for scientific materialism to help you with how the soul and body interact since science rejects any notion of real, independent mind. It's impossible for religions of faith to explain the soul. These religions ignore mathematics. It's impossible for mystical spiritual system to explain the soul. These two ignore mathematics. The soul isn't an object of faith. It's not a mystical object. The soul isn't magical. It's not woo-woo. The soul is the most rational and logical entity in existence. It's pure math. It is the basis of ontological mathematics. Ont Math is predicated on Leibnizian monadic minds, defined mathematically rather than metaphysically. Get with the program. Know thyself. Finally, know what your soul is. Only Ont Math can explain it to you. Ontological mathematics is taught by the Illumikoi, who formerly originated with the ancient Pythagorean Mathematikoi. All is number. Number rules all. The Illumikoi approve this message.